Get this figure at the Chosen Prime, official sponsors of TFCon 2017.
What's going on, gang? Baltmatrix here, and today we are taking a look at Transformers Titans Returns Leader Class Overlord. I picked this figure up at thechosenprime.com. Now, this figure is a retool of the already released, pretty excellent, Black Shadow. And by Black Shadow, I mean Sky Shadow. Overlord's paint scheme is exactly the same as his G1 counterpart, and the detailing is also excellent on this figure. It just looks so darn good. He sports the same tummy missiles and tummy guns that the original G1 figure sport. He also has a very similar head to the G1 figure. But most importantly, he has chest openings for other Titans Returns Titan Masters. So it's very easy to fit any Titan Master in there, but you do have to be a little bit careful because especially with the Prime molds, they do have a tendency to get stuck. And they also don't go all the way back, so you can't close the doors all the way.
What do you want?
Nothing really. Just to pass through good tonight.
In that case, I shall have to kill you. Shall I? Oh, I don't think so. He's buggered off. So he has, he's scarpered.
The figure comes with two accessories, the first of which is his purple gun, which is exactly the same as the one that comes with Black Shadow, Sky Shadow. The other accessory is his plain shield, which can detach and be put on either one of the shoulders. It's a very nice looking nod to the original G1 figure, or it could just be attached right here on the back and snapped into place. In fact, you could store all of his accessories on his back and butt. As you can see, Sky Shadow and Overlord are vastly different, though they do share some similarities, specifically from the hips down. Same exact molds there. The crotch plates are different, but then the upper part or upper torso are completely different on each. I do find Overlord's head is kind of a weird combination between Black Shadow, Power Master Optimus Prime, and Six Shot. It's just odd. The individual Titan Masters are also completely different in sculpt in both the Titan Master mode. As you can see, Overlord's little friend here is painted better. And then in the head modes. And the heads are, even though painted similarly, the face sculpts are completely different. In terms of posability, Overlord is much the same as Black Shadow. I keep calling it Black Shadow. Sky Shadow. The different joints work just fine. There's no problems with posing, though the swivel in the upper arm just above the elbow is a little bit too loose for my taste. The figure has very good posability for a figure of this size, plus some nice little ankle tilts, which are always appreciated. The lack of a torso articulation does limit the posability a bit, and the overall bulkiness and squareness of the figure as a whole does, prevent him from getting some really dynamic poses, but you can pull off a couple of good ones. This is my favorite one right here. Transformation into his vehicle modes is virtually identical to Sky Shadow's. It's not hard, it's very simple. The only issue that I've even been able to remotely discover is that, like with Sky Shadow, the arms that rotate, or I should say slide up into his upper arms are very loose, and then getting the pegs lined up for the upper arms to peg into the rest of the chest is very, very tight. So it is a little bit wonky. If you've seen the tank transformation for Sky Shadow, it is exactly the same as the pieces and the parts are all exactly the same, just different colors. Though the coloring on the tank, I think, works much, much better, and the purple cannon up front just gives the entire mode a wonderfully better detailed look than, Sky Shadow's. His is all black and red. While I like that, I like this with the very light blue, even lighter blue, white, and purple. Much, much better. It just pops more. And before we move on, a quick comparison of the tanks, I think, is in order. As you can see, even though Sky Shadow's is really cool, I like Overlord's better. Just me. I do find the jet to be a little bit monochromatic being in all black, but it is supposed to be a heavily modified SR-71 Blackbird jet or styled jet. It does work, and I think it works well. The white on the engines and the purple work very well, but the rest of it's all black. That's very much the original figure talking there. So it does work, but as I said, it's a bit monochromatic. But I love that amber cockpit. That is so cool. One big difference between Overlord and Sky Shadow is this little landing gear in the front. A nice touch. And comparing the two jet modes, you could see that there is color differentiation between the two, and the two jet modes are very, very different. The only negative thing that I can even come up with these modes is there's no real direct way to combine them, like you can these two guys. But where there is a will, there is a way, and after fiddling around a little bit, I noticed on the bottom of the tank's turret, there are these little gaps right here. I had no idea what they were for. So then I started poking around, and I opened up the chest, and hey, what do those panels have inside them but little tabs? So yes, it can grab on. It is tenuous, it is kind of a fan mode, but it does work. So you can, in fact, have both of them on your shelf in a silly vehicle combined mode. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about today is the base mode, which, if I'm honest, is real dumb. I get what they're going for, I honestly do, but it's not the best base mode in the world. It's not even that good. Yes, I understand this base mode is supposed to combine with other base modes, but it looks silly. It's not that great. It is better than Sky Shadows, but still, the base mode's real dumb. Nowhere near as cool as the original one. And even then, that original one wasn't that good. At the end of the day, Titan's Returns Overlord is perfectly good and definitely worth having in your collection. There are two minor quality control issues that you need to be aware of. The sliders here in the upper arms are far too loose for my taste, which I think can be fixed by tightening these screws. And if not pegged incorrectly, the torso has a tendency to just pop off its, well, ledge very, very easily. Far too easily. Even though these two issues are annoying, the figure is totally worth picking up and adding to your collection. As I said, I picked this one up over at The Chosen Prime. It is also available at TF Source and BigBadToyStore.com, and will probably show up in an Amazon near you. So gang, thank you for watching this video review. Give me a thumbs if you liked it, give me a subs if you loved it, and I will catch you next time.